and after that to culture, and also in culture and projects we are also tackling the responsibility agenda. And in the end, I'm telling you a bit about why travel with Kilroy, and then questions and answers, I will take those in the end. Hello. So, Kilroy, we are, as I said earlier, we are a travel agency. We are specialized for travel for students and younger people. The way we are unique is that we customize every trip as based the customer needs. So we don't have like any ready travel packages like Aurinkomatkat or TUI or some other similar agencies. We offer a unique and meaningful travel experience that will stay, hopefully, with you for the rest of your lives. And as you can see on the map, the whole world is open for us. So we are especially specialized in the trips outside of Europe, but we also have trips inside of Europe. So probably everything you would like to have, you will find it from us. And next you are going to see a little short introduction video. And by the way, most of the videos you are seeing during this presentation are taken by our own travel advisors, so they are not like any stock images. So as you can see from the video, we offer adventure tours, and we always want that when you go traveling with us, that you will experience the local culture on a deeper level. We don't want that you only go to the touristic attractions. We really want that you explore the culture and also meet new people, and that way change the way you see the world, but also how the other culture sees the world. And now a little bit from our background, because history, we have a lot of history. So officially Kilroy was created after the Second World War when student organizations wanted to really encourage people to travel outside and see the world, because that way we believe that there will be world peace eventually if we see other cultures and experience those. As you can see here, it's been a long way, and in the beginning we were known as a Kilroy. We were known as STTS, if I can pronounce that correctly. But yeah, student organizations built us, and now we are Kilroy, and the Kilroy name, we have had that since the year 91. So we are like over 30 years old now. And during these years, you can see how our company has moved forward. Kilroy is not only a travel agency. There is this mother organization called Kilroy International, and within Kilroy International there is also Kilroy, and then there is PENS, ISIC, which is International Student Card, and maybe some of you might know ISIC already. And then there is HUS and Windberg Travel. In Finland, we have ISIC and Kilroy, but in Denmark, for example, we have all of these different companies. And today, we are located in 8 markets and 20 different locations. Fun facts, you can see that UK is also nowadays our location, and actually that store in Bristol was opened this year, and it's been quite a journey already. But yeah, nowadays our main hub is located in Copenhagen, but in Finland we have offices in Turku and in Helsinki. And I'm from Turku, so if you want to see me, come to Turku. But I think that if you want to plan your dream trip, go to our Helsinki office. It's located right next to the central train station, so you really cannot miss that one. Yes, and as I said, that here you can see our different brands. There are many of those, but for you and for Finnish market, the Kilroy and Isaac are the most relevant ones. And the international student card is quite a cool product, so if you don't already have that card, you should really check that out, because with that card you can get over 130,000 discounts in 150 locations, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's a very nice discount card. Yes. But what makes Kilroy Kilroy? If you ask me, Kilroy is a company where we really believe the power of travel. So when you travel with us, I really hope that you will have a journey of your lifetime. I remember when customers came to me when I was working as a travel advisor, and every time we started to talk about their trip plans, they got so excited, and I got so excited. And then I was like, when they were on their trip, I was also asking, hey, how are you doing? And they're like, yeah, I just made these friends, it's so cool. And after the trip, they would like send me pictures how the journey went. So that is the way we really wanna do our trips. So when we meet our customers, we always meet them as a human beings, and we always want that the trip really matches your needs. But what comes to travel agencies and our job in general, well, we must be very trustworthy, because when you go out travel, usually something goes wrong, and then you might feel a little like, what should I do? Well, that's the reason why we are here. So in Kilroy, we always want that you can trust not only us, but also our suppliers. So when you go out to travel, you can feel safe and not be like, what the heck is going on? So you can always feel safe with us. And well, human aspect, I told you a little bit about that as well. We always want to meet everyone as per person, and then we are also daring. What comes to the daring part, I would say that will so in a way we customize and tailor-made the customer journeys. You might come to us and you say that I want to go to, for example, to Thailand, and we're like, well, what would you like to do in Thailand? And I feel like, well, I would like to go to a beach. And we're like, what about some trekking in the jungle? So we really want to also push our customers to try different things and not only stuck with the things that they might want to do, but we also want to tell them what they could do. And that's the way also we are curious. So we want to explore every place and every different corner of the place. So we don't want to stay only in the tourist areas. We really want to explore the culture. Yes, so our mission is to sell experiences tailored to grow and transform fellow travelers. So I really hope that when you go on a trip with us, that you will really experience something new and come back with a bag full of stories and friends. And we always handpick our choice of experiences, and we uncover our travelers' need, and we inspire, and that's the way we customize the trips. Yeah, but every trip is unique, and there is no say similar trips. Every trip is individual, and you really should embrace that. Yes, this is how we do it. We use our first-hand experiences on how to travel and how long to stay. So we always tell the customer that when is the best time to travel. For example, if you want to go to Fiji, maybe you shouldn't go there during February when you might get hit by a typhoon. And then also how long you should stay in one place. For example, we sometimes get requests that person would like to go to Australia for 2 weeks, and we go a little that's not maybe the best idea if you only have 2 weeks, and there are two reasons. There is the sustainability aspect, and also the aspect that if you only have 2 weeks, you really cannot experience culture in the country. And Australia is heck of a big country, so you really should take your time and travel in peace. And then also we will tell you what destinations to include or avoid. What comes to, for example, Australia. When you're traveling to Australia, it's very easy to add a pit stop, for example, either in Singapore or maybe you want to go to New Zealand. So there are different ways you can do your trip, and you shouldn't only maybe stay in one place if you can see many places during those flights. For example, there are very good flight connections from Helsinki to Seoul. So it's in South Korea, and there is direct flight from South Korea to New Zealand, for example. So maybe you wanna visit South Korea and then go to New Zealand. Then we also tell what meaningful experiences and sustainable options to include. For example, if you want to go to Europe, maybe you should just use a train. For example, we have Interrail passes, so you don't always have to fly from place to place. And if you're like very short on time, for example, you could maybe fly to Lisbon and then travel back to Finland by train. So we always want to offer different options based on like the schedule and where would you like to travel. And then we also have many different experiences. I will speak those about later. But for example, we have surf courses, volunteering, and all the different types of products you could like try when you're traveling. And then the boring stuff, the practicalities. So we will also help you with advices. We will also tell you about what vaccines you must take, and all of that stuff that you really don't want to handle yourself. Yes, and here I listed some of the things that sets us apart. First, there is guided customization for unconventional travel. As I said, we don't have like ready trips. We have custom-made trips, so every trip is unique. It's the same as the personalized trips. And then we also have sustainable and hand-picked suppliers. I will talk to you a little bit about our sourcing process later, but when it comes to our suppliers, we want to make sure that they work in a way that is sustainable and that we can really trust them. And we always visit our suppliers, and our negotiations they take a lot of time. Then value for money. I always say that we might not be the cheapest, but we're aiming to be the best. And we have value products and high quality products, so you know that when you travel with us, you will get value for the money you use. Then we have unique flight combinations, like the one I was speaking about from Helsinki to Seoul, Seoul to Auckland, Auckland to Singapore, and Singapore to Helsinki. Like you can get all of those flights in one ticket, and all of them are direct flights. Then what else? Then also advice to get how to get most out of your budget. When we are traveling, the budget is always the thing that concerns the travelers because you know we don't have like limited like we don't have, how do you say that? Like we don't have like all the money in the world. Maybe that is the way. So yeah, we really want to tell you how you can make most out of your money. And then yeah, there is actually twice the carefully sorted and sustainable suppliers, but that's how much they mean to us. And the third is our travel advisors. Well, this is like a love letter to our travel advisors, but our travel advisors are really the thing that separate us apart. Our travel advisors, they have traveled, they have experience, they have backpack in Asia or in South America. They really know their places, and they will always tell you tips and tricks what you should do, and they really know how you can avoid mistakes they've made, so you are not repeating their mistakes when they are traveling. And yeah, nowadays we have 7 travel advisors, and we also have group department who are handling over 10 persons reservations, and in their department there is like 5 at the moment. But yeah, our travel advisors, they're like the best, and when you start planning your journey with us, you are always planning it with travel advisor, so you're not only booking it online, you're really speaking to a human. Yes, and then moving to responsibility. At first, I want to acknowledge the fact that when we are speaking about travel and sustainability and responsibility, there is always 2 sides. And we don't want to greenwash everyone, but the way we see our responsibility and sustainability affecting the nature is that we are always aiming to be better and always aiming to offer more sustainable travel options. So nowadays, in January 2022, we launched the comprehensive project with the formation of a special task force, and that also meant that we had to get full-time sustainability coordinator to oversee it all. Because as we know, sustainability is a very wide topic, and there is no way a travel agency can tackle that without a task force. So that is the reason why we wanted to create that. And from that day, we started to systematically assessing our current sustainability processes and identifying areas of improvement. As I said, we really want to get better, and today also we are always looking the way we can do better. Yes. But the next step involved creating policies and guidelines to ensure a common understanding of what sustainable is. And during those phase, we also created these targets for the year 2030, and they are based on United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. What comes to those sustainability development goals, there are a total of 17 of them, and those include things such as gender equality, and like no poverty. I really recommend that you would check those out. They are very clearly explained when you search them. And by the mid-year 2022, we were starting to put our plans into work. So from that day on, so at first we created the template, how we would start working towards more sustainable company, and from that by mid-year 2022, we were really starting to put our plans to work. So we planned, and then we started to do stuff. What comes to Kilroy Group, from the day we have been here, we've always believed the power of human being and the power of travel. Our ambition is that every time you go outside there and explore, we serve and do good to the societies in the local culture. And we really believe that not only us, but our customers can create like long-term effects on the local cultures if we really respect those cultures when we are traveling abroad. And that is like our goal. That we want that when you're traveling, you are doing good to the world, not like ruining it. Yes, so as I said, Kilroy Group is committed to managing the social and environmental impact of our direct and indirect operations in a sustainable manner. And when you're reading this, I just want to double remind you that this is the way we really think. And this is also the reason why we haven't like posted anything on social media about our like sustainable actions, because we don't want to greenwash anyone. We just want that we really do good, and we don't like want to promote ourselves, that we say that, hey, look at us, we are so sustainable, because we understand that if our like core operations is not 100% sustainable, we really cannot promote that. And when it comes to travel, there are always emissions and all of those. So we really just want to do our inner operation better daily. And yeah, but that is the reason why you most likely don't find anything about like sustainability on our social media. But when you go on our website, you can find all of these reports where you can read all of the things we've done. Yes, and part of our operations, we also cooperated with My Climate X Kilroy. My Climate, I mean, the Kilroy Group is nowadays working with this non-profit foundation, My Climate. It's based in Switzerland, and it's a forerunner in the development of carbon offset projects. And I remember when we started to look for a partner to carbon offset our flights, it wasn't an easy task, because there are like plenty of these companies, but are they really responsible? We don't know about that, but when what comes to my climate, we really found out that they are really doing good and they are really like taking care that every time you carbon offset your flights, they are really going to something good and some very like valuable project. And the way my climate flight calculator works, it determines the quantity of CO2 emissions that an airplane emits per passenger for a given flight distance. And also nitrogen compounds and aerosols are also included and converted into CO2 equivalents. So it really like takes, understands everything that's going on there. What comes to Kilroy and My Climate, if you go to My Climate website, you will see that they are having many different products and projects going on around the world. But for Kilroy, we decided to go with the projects in Madagascar with the efficient cooking stoves and Nicaragua, land use and forestry. In Madagascar, they really want that with that project that they will like have clearer energy and it will be like not using too much of that energy. So we're like creating more like better environment that way. And with Nicaragua, you can actually see video on the next slide, so they will explain the project better. But yeah, below there you can see how they reduce emissions by. But yeah, and what comes to our internal operations, we don't only like carbon offset our customer flights, but we also carbon offset our own flights. So when we are traveling abroad, so this is always included on our corporate flights. But yeah, now you will see the video, and it's very nice. I just hope it works. Please, no. Okay. That's not the video, that's my background, my computer. It's nice as well. Yeah. Just a second.
Nicaragua.
Okay, so it seems not to be working, but I will send the link to Kaisa and you can see the video afterwards, but let's see if the whole PowerPoint is starting now. culture. Yeah, Kaisa will send you the link to the video afterwards. And fun fact, earlier when I was presenting, I had no idea what slide was coming next, so now I'm happy that now it actually shows what I'm about to talk next. So yeah. But yeah, a little bit about our company culture in general, because we understand that sustainability is not only about what we do to the outside world, but also what we do inside our own company. So here are some of our internal operations. So here you can see the Kilroy Group's management principles, what we support. So we really support openness and well-being at work and choosing the best person for the job. So every time when we are like recruiting a new person to our company, we really want to make sure that they don't only have like the relevant background and experiences, but also that we see that she or he is a very good fit to our company. And then we also want to encourage our travel advisors to develop. And that's the reason, for example, why we have created competence development mapping. So every travel advisor have like a path which they can follow. So when you start out as a travel advisor, you are not going to stuck in one place for the rest of your life. You really have chances to develop. And part of the competence development plan is that we send our travelers to test our products, for example. For example, myself, I've been to Thailand and do some umpan trekking on the jungle and visited on our volunteering projects. So we really want to make sure that our travel advisors not only know the destinations, but also know our suppliers. Then we always have clear targets because we are a travel agency and in the end we are sales organizations. So we want to make sure that every person who's working on our company, they really know what we expect and how they can reach their goals. So we always will support them as well. Then we are dedicated on upholding human rights also within the Kilroy Group, and that means that we are always aiming, for example, to gender equality and salary equality. And we want that not only our travel advisors are treated with respect, but we also want that our customers are treated with respect. So when you come to us, I really hope and I know that you will be served with openness and smile on your face. If you don't experience that, please tell us, because that's not something we're like aiming towards. We want to treat everyone as a human being, as an individual as well. Yes, and here you can see that we are pursuing the gender balance. Nowadays, what comes to our travel advisors, the split is mostly 50-50, so half of us are female and half of us are male. But what comes to management positions, and especially on our owners, there are currently more males, but we are really trying to aim that will balance out during these years. Yeah, and here is the salary one. Yes, and it's always important to us as a company to embrace and foster diversity, our company like culture in the best way. But we want that every time we hire someone, they are really the best person for the job. So we are considering different factors when we are choosing our employees. But yeah, when it comes to my experience, I always treated with respect, and I believe that at least what I know, we're having a lot of fun in Turku. There is like in total five of us, and we are having a very great time. And also in Helsinki, we really like to do stuff together, and we really enjoy being together. For example, Kaisa, she's like my ex-colleague, so maybe that tells something a bit. She wanted to see me after all these years. And here is a short video which will work. This one I know. Or not. So our travel advisors, they're really crazy bunch of people. They really do some crazy stuff. For example, my colleague Sunny, she just came back from Mount Everest. She did the base camp version, and I've heard so many stories already. How did it go? For example, she told me that she caught some bug during her trip to Mount Everest, and she was like, well, you probably don't want to know. She wasn't feeling too well. That's all I can say. And some of the people, there were a few people who were sent back to the beginning because of the height of that. So yeah, but we have a lot of different experiences, and yeah, we do crazy stuff, and we will tell you how you can do that. We really do like some action on our trips. And I know that, for example, this Sunny, who I'm speaking a lot about, she's the one who is always doing some bungees jumping and all of that stuff. I couldn't do that. I must be honest with you. I'm really afraid of heights. But yeah, if you're really looking for some adrenaline, you will probably find that product from us. Yeah. Here are a few pictures from our own trips. The green shirt girlie over there, that's me. That picture is from 1 year ago when I was traveling in Costa Rica with a smaller group. I must say that Costa Rica, it was an amazing experience, and that picture is from Monteverde and from the cloud forest. Although there were no clouds during that day, but if there were clouds, it would be amazing over there. And below my picture, there is this man sitting on the top of the hill, and he's called Timo. Timo is our team leader for individual travel, and on that picture, I think he's in Australia, but don't ask me where. We're in Australia, but fun fact about Timo, he has traveled all around Australia. He hasn't only been on the East Coast, where it's Melbourne, Sydney, and those, but he's traveled the whole coast of Australia. So if you're planning a trip to Australia, you will get the best tips and tricks from him. And then next to my picture, and also next to Timo's picture, there is the Sunny, and I've been speaking about. So on the first pictures is in Africa, if I remember correctly, in Namibia. She was traveling with a smaller group for 30 days, and her journey started from South Africa, went all the way to Namibia, Botswana, and I believe they ended back in South Africa, in Johannesburg. And in the down of the pictures, Sunny is in Montenegro. Next to Sunny's picture, on top of there, it's Dina. Dina is working on our Helsinki office, so if you come to our Helsinki office, you will most likely see her there. Dina used to live in Brazil, and that picture is also in Brazil. So if you are planning your trip to South America, you will get the best ideas from her, and she really knows her stuff. And below Dina's picture, there's our group girlies, 4 of them. So the girl in blue, it's Petra. Then there is Sara, Titu, and Tia. And they are working on our group department. So if you're planning excursion with your school group or something like that, they are the ones who will help you with that. And next to their picture is our newest one. Annika, she's in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. She did her exchange in Malaysia, and I know that she really loved Tioman Islands, and she would like to travel to Borneo. So I'm just wondering that maybe on her next holiday she will go to Borneo. But yeah, she loves Malaysia. And the guy on top, that's Tuomas. He's on our Helsinki office, and on that picture, he's also in Australia picking up some avocados. Tuomas, he went to Australia just right before the COVID, and his trip ended way too early due to COVID. But yeah, he got to pick some avocados, so he looks happy. So I think he's still happy. But yeah, being a travel advisor in Kilroy, we are not all the same, and that's what makes our group such great bunch of people. we are all sorts and sizes, if you may say so, and we always we understand that we are different. We are not trying to push everyone to be the same because not everyone are. So we really want to embrace the uniqueness of our travel advisors, and they really can inspire our customers in the way they want. But yeah, we have a common passion for the world and our values. So when you meet a person from our company, well, you will most likely get to speak about traveling because that's what we are really passionate about. But yeah, we just want to speak about the culture and the world. And then a little bit about our products. So yeah, you can see some of our products over there. For example, oh, I love that. Choose it for you. Yeah. For example, we do round the world trips. So if you're planning a trip around the world, you will get the help from us. But we will also help you with other plans. But for example, if you're planning the round the world trips or some other multi-destination trips, you probably will find out that it's very hard and it can make your head feel very dizzy when you're trying to plan everything. So that's the reason why we are here. And then we also have volunteering. We have volunteering in different destinations around the world. And when it comes to volunteering projects, we pick them very carefully because we know that there are a lot of volunteering companies that aren't really responsible. Some of the volunteering projects are actually called because they want to get tourist money. But when you're going to the volunteering project from us, you really know that you are going to a project where they will need help. And then there is working holiday. Working holiday is a way of traveling if you want to travel, for example, in New Zealand, Australia, and actually Canada, starting from next year again. You can travel there for 1 year and work at the same time. So we, for example, have working holiday visas. We have these starter packages, so you can get help with your bank account, SIM card, and everything else. And well, yeah, working holiday. We also have these group departures for only people traveling from Finland because we noticed that Finnish, or at least people who come from Finland, they really would like to get some other people joining from that country. So that is the reason why we created group departures for the people who are traveling from Finland, so they can start their trip together. Then we do road trips. For example, in USA, maybe you want to go Route 66 or go to the east side of US. We have different campervan companies, different car rental companies, and we will also help you sort out where you should stop during your road trip. We can book everything in advance if you want, or you can just book car or some other thing from us, which you find out the most helpful. Then we have variety of other cool activities, diving, surfing, hiking, yoga. I could do a rap about these things, but yeah, there is a lot of different stuff you can do when you're traveling with us. And what comes to adventure tours, those are the ones I spoke a little bit about earlier. How, for example, I traveled in Costa Rica with a small group. So adventure tours, they're you travel in a small group from people from different cultures, and you are traveling solo, but you are not solo. So you're traveling with other people, but you can join those tours by yourself. And then we have trips for bigger groups, like those study tours and recreational trips, excursions, and all of that stuff. But yeah, here are our key products, but we have, for example, Interrail passes as well if you're traveling within Europe. So you can buy those from us as well, and we can also help you sort out where to stop during your Interrail adventure. How many of you have done Interrailing? One? Ooh. Well, the rest of you next year, it's good time. Go there. Yes. Then about our sourcing process. So as you can see that, as you saw on the previous slide, we have like many different products we offer. One of our focus areas in 2022 was finding a proper way to evaluate and improve the overall sustainability of our supply chain, like how we see that the company we are working with is really a sustainable company. And based on the sustainability task force's recommendations, we are still in the process of creating framework for that, because we want that when we have that framework, we want that it really embraces, for example, education, equality, use of natural resources, and all of those. So we really want that framework is wide and notices every aspect that is affecting on tourism businesses. And in 2022, we restarted assessing the lunch suppliers across the Kilroy group, and we are still continuing that because we have plenty of suppliers, so we really must go them through by one. But we are working on that every day and every week and every month and every year. But yeah, what comes to travel agencies and sourcing for products, it's a very wide subject and it takes time, but it's really needed if you really want to have a business that is sustainable in the future. And here you have again some pictures. So these pictures are from our adventure tours. If I remember correctly, the picture on the app is from Philippines. My colleague Sami again, he's over there, and she's traveled all the way in Philippines. Yeah, but what comes to adventure tours, they are really like active tours, so you really do stuff. For example, you can go diving, you can go like kayaking, you can go bungee jumping, you can do all that stuff. So adventure tours, they don't only include like traveling around the place, but they also include activities, accommodations, some of the foods, and also usually there is some place where you visit like some local company and see how they are working over there. For example, in Costa Rica, we went to this coffee plantation, and it was very nice to see how they create the coffee and how they like do all of that stuff. So yeah, it's very nice to really experience the local culture. And then there's pictures from working holiday, and I said earlier there is Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, but actually Japan is also one of the countries nowadays where Finnish citizens can go to working holiday. And I also think that they have now like signed multiple contracts within different like countries, so it's very nice. And then we have the volunteering. Volunteering projects, we have those in different countries. We have marine projects, we have community projects, animal projects, and then environmental projects. And when a customer comes to us and she or he tells us that they would like to go to volunteering, the first thing we ask is that what kind of volunteering you would like to do or what kind of experience you have earlier. So when it comes to volunteering, we really want to make sure that the project and the volunteer are right match, so there is like no conflicts between them. For example, one of the customers at first hand thought that they would like to go volunteer with animals, but then when we started to speak about her experience, she was like, well, I've worked a lot with children and I would really like to be a teacher. And then I was like, why don't you want to go to work as an English teacher, for example, in South Africa? And then she went there and she really loved that. So we really want to make sure that the volunteer is the right match to the project. Here are the group tours, and here is short videos. Yes. why travel with Kilroy? I always say that you can do everything by yourself. That's like a fact. Everyone can go to the internet and browse stuff and do bookings, but is that fun and like easy? That's a different story. So we are really here to make your life easier. When you book everything from us, you only have like one person you have to contact if you have any troubles. For example, during COVID, there were a lot of flight cancellations and flight changes. The customers who have booked to us, they didn't have to worry about everything. We handle it all. So when you book with us, you can just like relax and we'll like plan just what you want to do during your trip. So we are doing all of the practical stuff and we are also helping you to create the trip of your dreams. And we always, well, there is like personal travel advisor. We will not come to your home like and visit you every day, but you will have like this personal travel advisor who is always in contact with you and who you can like speak with. And also during your trip, you can get in contact with us. So no matter how you are feeling when you are traveling, you can always reach us. Because we know from our personal perspective that traveling is not always easy, it can be quite hard, and sometimes when you're like, well, I want to travel like 3 months, you might feel after 1 month like, I just want to go back home. But then you can contact us and we will like help you find out like how you might still continue your journey. Because every one of us will sometimes feel like homesick, but we will help you with that as well. And then, well, yeah, value for money, best itinerary for your budget. But the thing is, we're here to make your life easy, and we are here to make your travel planning fun, so that you don't have to worry about everything. That's like the main goal of us. But yeah, so I think this was me in a nutshell. This was very exciting. Do you have any questions about Kilroy, our products, or?
Can you explain a little bit about working holiday?
Working holiday, yeah. So working holiday visas, they offer you the possibility to travel a country for maximum of 1 year, and you can work during that time as well. Before COVID, for example, there was this limitation that you can only work for like 6 months for one supplier. But after COVID, there was like no restrictions anymore. So nowadays you can work as long as you want within this one company. But it's called working holiday. So when you go to working holiday, at least we hope that you will also do holiday, not just work. But usually when you are traveling as a working holiday person, you most likely will get a job within some tourism company. Maybe we'll go weekend pick those avocados like Thomas did or something like that. There is different age limitations for working holiday visas. For New Zealand, it's 18 to 35, and for Canada as well, and for Australia, it's 18 to 30. And the thing with working holiday is that when you get a visa, you have to go to the country within 1 year, and from that day you arrive to the country, your year of working holiday starts. And the important thing to remember is that when you apply for the working holiday visa, you cannot get it like twice. If you are not traveling to the country, you will lose your visa, and that's too bad. So when you apply for working holiday visa, really make sure that you will travel there in time. But yeah, if you want to have any help with the visa process, we will help that. We have very good like supplier for that, and we also have these starter packages for working holiday.